Let us see that student inductive reasoning. So in this type of reasoning, that the inductive reasoning proceeds from the particular facts to general conclusion. So inductive reasoning makes broad generalization from the specific observation. So it is based on the particular facts, okay, and it is related to the universal relations or generalizations. So data will be obtained from the concrete data and also the generalization process, the general conclusion. So conclusion data will be also be obtained from the concrete data and also the broad form of the generalization. Okay, so here it is also based on the premises. From the premises also we obtain the concrete data and as well as the generalizations. So it is the inductive reasoning will proceed from the particular facts to general conclusion. So otherwise general conclusion will be obtained from the specific observations from the particular fact. So both experiments and observation going on for this reasoning. Here example given: Ram is mortal, Karim is mortal, Mohan is mortal, Edward is mortal. So all over for that reasons all men are mortal. So here the personality or individually the everyone is in the first premises or second premises, all are becomes the universal truth that is mortal. So overally all men are mortal. So we conclude that from the premises, that is or get the result, or we reaches to the conclusion that all men are mortal. So deductive reasoning is the opposite of the inductive reasoning. In the deductive reasoning it is goes on from the specific fact to the generalizations. So it is based on the logical assumption or the logical truth, or it is based on the logical argument. So that logical assumption or conclusion drawn from the valid or invalid premises or truth untruth premises. Okay, so deductive reasoning is opposite of the inductive reasoning. So it is going on from the specific fact to the generalization. Okay. So here see that premises, first premises that all organs are fruits. All oranges are fruit. In the second premises, all fruits grow on a tree. So that is then the inference occurs. So in the first premises it is said that all oranges are fruits. In second premises all fruits are grows on tree. So third stage inference occurs. So overally we come to the conclusion that all oranges grow on tree. So these are the main factors of the deductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning it goes from the specific to general to, it goes from the general to the specific. So general we know that oranges are fruit. Then in the second premises we find that all fruits grow on tree. So we find on the we come to the conclusion, and we go to the in the specific stage that all orange grows on tree. Then come to the problem solving. So in the deductive reasoning we come to the point that it is goes from the general to the specific. It works from the more general to the more specific, and that is the deductive reasoning. Okay, so deductive reasoning occurs from the more general to more specific, but inductive reasoning occurs more specific to the general. Then come to the problem solving approach. So first to see the definition. Problem solving, when the person face any type problem in the way, so he want to the solve their problem by the that is by the mathematical or systematical operation. So here the individual's critical thinking skill also required. So first see that the step in the problem solving. In order to solving the problems, the persons create certain step by the thinking, by the series of steps required for the solving to problem. So many researchers find the problem solving cycle through by which they also solve the problem. So for that reasons the knowledge also required, and people also follow the rigid series of steps to find out the solution. So many steps are there also there. See that pictures. The steps of problem solving are: first is the identify, then second stage explore. So in the identify, first identify the causes or sources of problem, then you will find the then you will be explore it, so what type of problem, then set a goal in your mind how to solve the problem, and if the one way the problem will not solve, the different way of solving the situations will be look at. So different way of solving problem solving approach will be taken to solve the problem. Then from that one problem solving approach will be select, then will implement it, then find out the result of the solving of the problem. So first see that define the problem what I want to solve. So the problem which is causes the easily for the living of the people or simpler form of the people. Okay, so find out the problem what is the cause the living the people easier or the simpler, and why the problem what are the problem arises in that entity. Then identify the possible solutions after finding the problem. Do not try to solve the problem, just don't solve the problem just yet, brainstorm possible solution without making decision. So with by the decisions by the help of the brainstorm, so the solution will be comes. Then after identifying the problem, then solution comes through by the decision making process. Then determine your objectives. So what is your goals, what are the aim to solve the problem or to achieving the goal. Okay, then in the test the alternatives the find out the many various way of the problem solving approaches. From that way we what are the different possible solutions are there to solving the problem, that will be find out. Then select the best alternatives from the different types of problem solving approach, choose one solutions, then it will be applied. In the next is the implement your decisions. So whatever select for this problem solving approach, what are the decisions will be taken to solve the problem solving approach, that will be implement in your decisions to solve the problem. Then evaluate your results and find out the effectiveness of the decisions to solve the problem. Okay, then come to the problem solving strategy. The problem solving strategy are the algorithms, heuristics, trial and error method, insight, obstacle in problem solving, functional fixedness, irrelevant or misleading information, assumption, mental set. So again see that the problem strategy are first see that algorithms. So in the algorithm we take the step by step procedure to solve the problem and find out the produce the correct solutions. So here in the algorithm stage of problem solving, we create the step by step procedure to create the solutions to solve the problem. A mathematical formula is a good example of the problem solving algorithm. Next come to the heuristics. Heuristic is also mental rule of thumb strategy. It is also problem solving approach. It may or may not work in certain time or certain situations. And unlike algorithm, it is not guaranteed to correct the solutions. Next is the trial and error method of a problem solving approach. So in the trial and error method, we try to the number of different solution to solve the problem, and this approach can be good options for the person if having the limited number of option. Okay, then come to the insight. So persons have the insight to solving the problem by applying the solutions. Researcher found that the person has insight, and that is realized by the peoples to solving the problem by applying of the solutions. It is required the past experience also, and what are the outside it requires the outside of awareness. Okay, and for that problem solving, in case of the presence of insight in the persons, they require the mental process, like the applying the intelligent, having the memory, having the behavior. Okay, then obstacle in problem solving. During the problem solving, by applying the solutions, many obstacles comes in the way. So the persons having the ability have to keeping up the ability to solve the problem quickly and efficiently. So research found that there is a number of mental obstacles there, which include the functional fixedness, irrelevant information, and assumption. So see that functional fixedness. So in the functional fixedness, the persons found that the individual found that problems are coming in the customary manner. By the functional fixedness, it will be prevent the peoples to seeing the all different solutions option if it will be available in the finding solutions. So in the functional fixedness, it reports that there has many types of problem solving solutions, but it will be obstacle by the people to solve the problem. Then irrelevant or misleading information. During the when the person try to solve the problem, first find out that it will that information is either relevant or not relevant to the issue, or the irrelevant data or the object, because it leads to the wrong solutions. So when persons goes to the solving the problem, at that time that information is accurately compared, is actually similar to that relevant informations or not, first found out, then the solve the problem. If it will be applied, if it will be not knowing about that about the irrelevant informations, so it leads to the faulty solutions. So by applying the faulty solutions, the problem cannot be solved. So this problem this problem is, if the problem is very complex, it is easier become if the problem is very complex, then it will be not solved. If the problem because if you have the faulty solutions, if you having the good solutions, problem that complex problem also be solved. Then assumptions, that is truthness of the problem solving process. So here it deals with the problem. People always makes their good decisions to solve the problem and prevent the obstacles comes in the mental process. Then come to the mental set. It is the another common problem solving obstacle that is known as the mental set. Here the peoples use their solutions, and they work to solve the problem by using solutions where it is related to the past experience and past experience and past event. So during the problem solving, the people uses the past experience, past knowledge, then problem automatically will be solved by helping of the solutions. Next come to the creative thinking. In the creative thinking, people create something new, ideas, facts, okay, and it is based on the nature of thing, event, and situations. Okay, so people's create their new ideas, new things, and new elements. That is always based on the association with the nature of thing, event, and situation. And in the creative thinking, people also discover or invention, new ideas, new plans. So the thinker who thinks the creative thinking known as creative thinker, they always influenced by their originality, flexibility, divergent thinking, and versatile idea. Okay, self confidence, persistence, vision, all are things also affect to the creative thinker. So creative during the creative thinker always apply the always perceived the versatile ideas, good ideas, originality, reality. Okay, and the finding the greater solutions and having the good insightness or good perceptions. Okay, and these ideas, versatile ideas also be good. So the creative thinker, when thinks the creative thinking, they always concentrate toward the versatile data, originality, flexibility, etc. Next comes the perceptual or concrete thinking. Perceptual or concrete thinking is the simplest form of thinking. It is based on the thinking based on the perception. In this thinking, the thinker is thinking about the object or an event that is carried out by their perception or actual or concrete object or event. It is based on it is also based on the remember, experience. Okay, judgment, problem solving, decision making, all are things involved in the concrete thinking. Then come to the conceptual or abstract thinking. In the abstract thinking, like the concrete thinking, it doesn't require the perception of actual event or actual object or event. Here thinker uses concept or ideas. So abstract thinking is goes through on the conceptual process, and it also helpful for the list to discover invention of the new ideas and ideas but not having the physical concrete existence. Then come to the reflective thinking. It is a higher form of thinking, is the higher mental process of thinking. Then come to the critical thinking. The critical thinker who thinks about the complex problem, they exist the personal belief, prejudice, opinion, and discover the truth. Okay, it is a higher cognitive process. It requires the higher mental process, like the it is going on through the way that is believeness, that is requires intelligent, okay, habit, etc. So it is requires the higher cognitive process for the interpretation, for the observation of data, or that is known as the analysis of data, and finding the effectiveness of the result, that is evaluations and explanations. It always meet the new challenging problem, or a new are helpful for the solving the new problems which arises in their life and in the professions. Then come to the levels of thinking. According to the Bloom's taxonomy, levels of thinking are the evaluation, synthesis, analysis, application, comprehension, and knowledge. First is that gathering the knowledge. Okay, first from the lower of the triangle pyramid, you see that in the lower or bottom levels, first is the knowledge. So first is in the knowledge, first is the gathering knowledge. It is based on the piece of informations. It acquires the basic piece of information. So piece of information acquired by first to obtain the piece of information. So in case of children, asking children to identify the object and describe the relevance about the object, then say to the child to think about that object. So then child will think, so whatever think that will be that type of thinking, in that thinking what are they think, that knowledge will be gathered. So in this level of thinking is found to the operate at a very concrete level of knowledge. Okay, so persons or a child when think, they operate a concrete level of knowledge. They found the reality of the knowledge, or found the found the facts that will be applied on that object at the current situations. So whatever the think in the present situation, that will be gathered from the knowledge of the child or the individual. Knowledge is about anything, but it is recalled in from memory at a specific facts and also figure, that is known as gathering knowledge. So it is a level 1 of the Bloom's taxonomy. It is acquire the basic piece of information. So example given when the we ask to child to identify the object and find the whatever the things from the about the object, that knowledge will be collected, and that will be operate at the concrete level of knowledge. It is based on the reality or present situations. It includes the remember, present experience, etc. So presently whatever he thinks, that will be called, and that is will be known as knowledge also. Then comprehending and confirming, that is the comprehending and the confirming, it is a level 2. In this stage of the Bloom's taxonomy, we found that the meaning of the knowledge. So whatever the think by the child or adult about the object, that is known as knowledge in the level 1. So that knowledge we found that knowledge has meaningful or not. Then it will be gathered drawing the conclusion and understand the literal meaning of it. We confirm that ideas by comparing the in own methodologically. Then come to the level 3 is the applying. So whatever the learned in new situations, in the new situations, that will be undergoes in the applying levels in the Bloom's taxonomy. So here asking the children to consider new learned fact and then make something and post to this level of thinking. So here ask the child whatever learned in the new situations. Okay, so here in the applying stage, the what of the knowledge will be gathered and what of the knowledge will be understandable, that knowledge will be demonstrated in that applying stage. Okay, because here the child learned the new ideas, new system of the problem solving approach, all are things will be learned. So here child also learned in new situations, various things will be learned from the new situations, and also be learned new facts. Okay, so by the in that way, in the applying stage, the demonstrate the knowledge, okay, to gaining the new ideas, facts from that new situations. Then in the analyzing stage, that is analysis of the problem. It is referred to the analysis of, that is observation of the new observation in the whatever the problem occurs in the new situations. So that involves a thinking about whole in terms or in the parts process. So if that problems or that event, that information, if not analyzed in the proper way, so that in whole terms, in certain times in whole terms will be learned, in certain times also in the part basis also be learned. So breaking something into parts, that is using logic, causes that effective relationship, comparing, contrasting, recognize pattern. So here the problem will be solved by the gaining the information by whole terms or by the part by basis system. So if you break the something into part, it gives the good logical thinking and cause the effective relationship. Okay, and the classification, categorization and description occurs in that analyzing system, and it encourages the thinker to think in higher mental process. Okay, and also we example give example is that asking the child to think about that material by the applying by the acquiring the higher level of knowledge about the thinking, so that when the child applied the higher mental process of thinking and about the particular classroom project, then they will find that and reaches to the good conclusion result. In the synthesizing stage, what happen? It consists of the putting parts together to form a whole. So so in the part by basis, part of the knowledge gain that will be together and to from the to gaining the whole knowledge. So in the part basis system, in the applying stage, okay, in the applying stage, what are the part based system, what of the knowledge you gain, that will be together and created as a whole in the synthesizing level. Here all the ideas will be gathered and togetherly will apply to the new situations, and the problem automatically will be solved and create new information also. So here also we asking children how to use any array material and to create for creating something. Okay. In the evaluation stage, we found the effectiveness or result of the applying of the knowledge. So it is the highest level of thinking. Here initial making, comparison and judgment will be based in the evaluation stage. In the evaluation stage, the judgment process, decision making process, all are be acquired, and by the judgment process and the decision making process, we found the greater result, okay, of the particular idea. And also we find that what of its application and suitable to also. And here also we defend his work effectively. You can encourage this level of thinking by asking children which of the material they use to work the best. So also encourage the child whatever the material is given, so which material is best will also be found the result by asking the child.